Awesome. Guys, happy morning. I hope that you're having a great day so far. I mentioned that we're going to blast everywhere about what's happening with scale and stability in 22 days, April 24th to the 25th, 26th. I am so excited to bring this little bit of like sneak peeks into like what you're going to get as an experience into the event from the people that are going to lead the event. And today I have the pleasure of talking to Lyn Askin. And obviously interviewing, I've met Lyn, we've hung out. It has been a great meeting you, but I want to share this with everybody, not only the people that are going to be at the event, but you watching this today. And I'm pretty sure that after what we're going to discover today in terms of like questions and just going into some conversations, you're going to be like, I need to be in Lyn's track. I need to like go and change my life there. And I need to hear from him because that's exactly what we experienced. You know, when we first connected with him, we're like, we need to have him in one of our events. So really excited to have you, Lyn, here. For those that do not know you, I just want to like give this opportunity for them to like get up to speed of like who they need to know. Like you need to know Lyn. So Lyn, can you tell us a little bit about your background? Because I know that your story is very interesting and how you got into EOS, and I would love to like for you to share your background in the past, and then also let's talk a little bit about what this journey has been for you.
Yeah, I'd love to tell that story. I'll take just a couple minutes to do it. It's great. Karen, I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I think I grew up in a house with a lot of love, but not a lot of money. And I think it made me entrepreneurial. And necessity is the mother of invention. And when you want things as a kid, and you have to figure out how to afford them yourself. And so I did a lot of things growing up, sold a lot of things, ended up having my first paper route. And I think when I was 8 or 9 years old, delivered the newspaper, did that for several years just so I could have some pocket money. Had a mobile disc jockey company in my teens, started building computers in my early 20s. I launched one of the first online auctions in 1996. I built my first e-commerce store in 1997. I built my first website for another company. It was a company called High Life Nutrition in Las Vegas in 98, I think, or so.
Wow.
And that was my first website that I built for somebody else. And so I just over the next 20 years or so, just built a pretty successful marketing agency. But, had the same challenges that everybody else had. Had some confusion about who we were and who we served. So kind of a lack of clear vision. Maybe had some employees that had, I don't know, maybe a lackluster team commitment, but that was probably due to my lack of vision and lack of leadership. And then, of course, it had, discipline and accountability issues all the way to the top, if you know what I mean. And so, but despite all of that, had a pretty good life and a pretty good business. But in 2020, I collapsed in my yard and I had a massive pulmonary embolism. And as I was laying there dying, Karen, all I could think about was what kind of mess did I just leave my wife and son?
Oh, yeah.
If I'd have died that day, my business would have died with me and I would have left them a giant mess. My wife would have had to go to the office. She would have had to lock the doors. She would have had to fire the team, and she would have lost all the clients because, I didn't have it wasn't a business. It was a job, and it required me 24/7. And so, again, if I'd have died that day, the business would have died with me. And thank God I recovered from that. And I'm still here today and I'm still working on why. But the truth is I knew at that moment that I had to make some massive changes. I had to build something that was scalable, something that could grow without me, something that could run without me. And so, I looked at a lot of different operating systems and things like that. But, on my bookshelf was a book called Traction that I had bought in 2014. And I read it and I thought, oh, that's nice. I wish I could do that someday. But in early 2021, I needed it. And I started digging into it. I hired a certified EOS implementer, and we had a remarkable transformation in our business, Karen. We grew from 10 employees to 27. We 3x'd our revenue. We 7x'd our profits. Ultimately was able to sort of take myself out of the day-to-day operations and let my team actually do what they did best. And it culminated in a successful acquisition of my company. And during that time, I fell in love with the EOS, fell in love with the process, fell in love with the system, and decided I wanted to help people do that same thing and put, a very simple set of practical, real world tools inside of their business that would help them build a better business and, quite frankly, live a better life. And
Yeah.
so that's my story, Karen. And I've been coaching marketing agencies the last 8 or 9 years. So I work with a lot of marketing agencies. I also work with some oil field service company. I work with the restaurants, but so it's not agency specific, but I love helping just entrepreneurial people build and scale their businesses into something that they've dreamed of.
That is, I remember the first time that you shared that story with me. And, as a wife also, and as an entrepreneur, I can totally put myself in that situation of like, what would happen if, and I think it's something that every business probably that's attending the event could have that opportunity in those like 6 hours that you're going to like lead a track on. And like, I can actually make that change in this 6 hours, or I can make at least a step one or a first step into that clarity. I don't know how many business owners say, I feel like, as entrepreneurs, we feel like we have all the time in the world sometimes, like we feel like, oh, like I'll get to that point, like just like you were doing with the book, right? That's a nice thing to do, but I have like fires to put today. The thing is that we cannot guarantee that time is going to be there. And so that's the reason why this tools and frameworks and opportunities are so important, right? So I am super excited to see what's going to happen from that track, and the impact that you're going to make, because I think it's going to be super powerful. Now, the theme for this event is scaling with stability, right? And so I want to understand a little bit about your thoughts while implementing EOS and thinking about EOS. In your experience, how does EOS support this kind of like healthy, sustainable growth for businesses? Like, because I think it sort of has to go together. So what are your thoughts on, like scaling with stability as a theme and how EOS can help businesses scale with stability?
Well, yeah, you can. A lot of us, we start our businesses and we think like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have so much freedom, and we're gonna have this free time, and we're gonna have all this extra money, and that's why we start a business in the first place.
Yeah.
And the truth is, it's not like that for most of
Yeah.
us. Most of us have to put in long hours. It's stressful. You're carrying the load of all of your team and their families on your back, day to day. And so scaling, at some point, you almost don't even want to scale, because more clients equals more problems, and more team members is more problems. And EOS is a framework on which to run your business. And I like to say that you can run your business on guesswork, you can run it on hard work, or you can run it on a framework. And this framework it's not magic. It's not silver bullets or magic beans or whatever you call it. It's just simple, real world, practical tools designed to help you get more of what you want from your business. And so as entrepreneurs, we think we have to invent everything, and you don't. There are systems and frameworks that you can put in place. They're very simple, that'll give you the tools and the disciplines and the vision of getting everybody on the same page, and making sure we're all heading the same direction. And then making sure we got the right people in the right seats, and making sure that we're running our business on data and real facts and figures and numbers. And then make you guys really, really good at solving the problems that you'll face, because you will run into a bunch.
Yeah.
And then making sure that we take your systems and processes and we document them and simplify them and get them followed by all. And then, of course, we have to have a system of discipline and accountability to make sure that we get the work done. And EOS is it's the most succinct, easiest, simplest system that I've found that can do all of that.
That's amazing. I have so many questions about the track and who should be going to that track and what you have prepared for that track. But before, I think it's important to understand what are the symptoms that, might lead into people understanding, or warning signs that, hey, you're not ready to scale. Like there's some things that you need to put foundationally. And I know like the event Scale with Stability, not because everybody's ready to scale, but because we want to build that foundation, right? So what are some of those symptoms that you're seeing in businesses that you're identifying like, okay, you're not ready to scale yet. You need to like put that operational clarity, just so people also, if you're watching this, right, like you're sort of like getting a diagnostic of like, okay, I might need to like go to this track, and I might need to like talk to Lyn for a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, growth is painful. I mean, we grow the way the human body grows, and sometimes there's pain involved with that growth, and we grow in spurts sometimes. And so it's important that we have some sort of foundation that allows us to break through ceilings that we hit in our business. It's been proven scientifically that no business grows in a straight line. There's the evolution and revolution of business by Dr. Larry Greiner, basically talks about how every business grows and then they hit a ceiling. And it might be you hitting a ceiling from just a operational standpoint. It might be a department gets stuck. It might be you as individuals get stuck. But we give you tools and disciplines that help you break through those ceilings that you're going to hit in your business along the way. And it isn't, if I'm going to hit a ceiling along the way, it's when and how are we going to break through it? Because again, no business grows in a straight line. There are trials and tribulations, and as we grow, I think I see a lot of two types of businesses. One, I see people that just got their foot on the gas pedal and they're just going and they're breaking things and they're growing and they're breaking things. And then there's the others that are a little afraid to break things. And they're not growing fast enough. And so, they're so worried about the systems and processes and they're not worried about growth. And so we gotta balance that. And we got to figure out how to do that with stability, for lack of a better word. We got to figure out how to do that. And then EOS is a great system to help you through that process.
That's amazing. For the business owners that are still thinking like, oh, like which track should I pick? What would be a recommendation that you would give them, and identifying if this EOS track is the right one for them? What are some of the parameters that maybe they should have to really take advantage of it? Because I know that if you're just getting started, it might not be the best thing to do right away. There's certain steps you have to have in your journey in order to really take advantage of EOS. What are your thoughts there as we go into the track information? Because I want to hear what you have prepared. I want to hear what your thoughts are. If you're like JC, you're probably still thinking about how are we putting all these pieces together, or maybe because you're an EOS implementation person, you're a lot more organized. So I cannot wait to hear more about that. But give me a little bit of what the people should look into or think about before signing up for the track, and how what do they need to have before they come up?
Sure. So there are so many great tracks. As I look at the lineup of people there on the screen below you, I have a hard time saying that you should come to me versus one of those others. There's such a great lineup of people there. I love a lot of the people on that screen and know a lot of them, and so. But what I would say is, do you have people in your business? Do you deal with people? You might want to be in my track. Do you have, do you want profit in your business? Yeah, you might want to be in my track. Do you feel like your business is running you and not the other way around? You might want to be in my track. And so really, we got to make sure that we have some control over our business. We got to understand how to manage and deal with people. We love people, need people, but they're a source of a lot of frustration in our business. We're frustrated with our team. We're frustrated with our clients. We get frustrated with our spouses, and we get frustrated with the guy in front of us in traffic. People are difficult. And so, we help you make sure we get the right people in the right seats in your business. Again, profit, wildly important in your business. A lot of us are running on really, really thin margins, and I want to make sure that we help you build a profitable business. And then of course you've got to have control of your business. It can't be, a friend of mine described it as your business is like a white van going down the interstate at 100 miles an hour, but you're not driving it. You're running behind it. You're running behind it, and the doors are flapping in the back, and you're trying to grab on, and you're trying to pull yourself in so you can feel like you have some sort of control of that business. And that's what it's like for a lot of us. If you face any of those challenges, my track's the one for you.
There you go. I mean, this is going to be so hard for people to pick the track, but I will tell you, if anything of what you heard today makes you feel like I need to be there, make sure to go get your ticket if you haven't, of course. But if you have gotten your ticket, make sure to confirm the track, because we have limited seats for each one of the tracks. So this is a time to pick wisely. And I guarantee you, I'm an operations fan. I totally agree with everything that you're saying. I mean, who could not agree with what you're saying? But just having grown businesses, the importance of having somebody. And I think, Lyn, you do a great job at not only helping people navigate, this processes and frameworks that you have, but you also provide this confidence for them, and having somebody that you have managed how many EOS implementations for how many businesses outside even your own, right? And just having somebody that has seen, I think there's so much value in that, having somebody that has seen different models of business and how they can all work together, and the progress that you can make from where you're starting to what your goals are, and has walked with people in that transition. I think it's just, it's priceless, right? So super excited about this. Let's talk a little bit about the track, because I want to give people an inside look, or FOMO a little bit on what they could be missing out if they are not part of this 6 hours. So let's explain a little bit first, actually, what a track is. So at this event, different to most events, most conferences where you go and you pick sort of like the sessions that you want to be part of. Like we really believe in going in depth into knowledge. And so not only you're going to get access to some of this amazing people from like the general stage where you're going to be able to hear from Damon John, Kevin Harrington, all these amazing guys, but also you're going to be able to go 6 hours deep into your main bottleneck in the business. So profitability, all the things that Lyn just mentioned, if those are bottlenecks in your business, you're going to be able to pick a track that for 6 hours in those 3 days, you're going to be able to go in depth in working hand in hand. It's kind of like a preview of what people pay thousands of dollars to be able to do with Lyn on, a quarterly basis. You're going to be able to get an experience of that. So Lyn, talk to us about what they're going to be able to see in that track.
So I'm super excited for the people who join my track, and I know there's quite a few already. I asked you guys. There's a nice number of people sign up.
Yes.
I'm super excited to have those people in the room, people who want to grow and scale their business and really get a grip on their business. Everybody that comes to my track, I'm going to give them a copy of Traction, and this is the hardcover. This is not the paperback.
That's awesome.
As your guide, also have a workbook that we're going to work through. This is a workshop. This is not me standing up in front of the stage talking. We are going to work on your business, and we're going to work on your business in those 3 2-hour sessions over the 3 days. And we have a workbook that we're going to go through. And we got 6 keys to getting what you want from your entrepreneurial company. And so the workbook, we're going to guide you through. We're going to talk through the 6 key components of your business, and how strengthening those 6 key components will help you to get 80% stronger, better in your business. And again, those are the vision component and the people component, the data component. We also have the issues component, the process component, and the traction component. And each one of those has 2 tools or disciplines that I'm going to teach you on how we make those strong in your business. And so we're going to walk you through that. We're going to help you build your vision with our Vision Traction Organizer. Basically, we have a 2-page business plan that we're going to guide you through that process, actually building the vision for your company and what that would look like. Then we're going to teach you how to build core values in your business. And we're going to talk about what it means to have a handful of guiding principles that define who you are at the core and what you want from your culture of your business. And then we're going to teach you how to use those core values to hire, to fire, to review, and to reward and to recognize your team. Because you don't learn core values from a mug or from a poster. You learn them from using them in your business. We're going to help you build out an accountability chart. And we're going to define what your business needs to look like 6 to 12 months from now. Gosh, so much. We're going to talk about what it means to put the right people in the right seats. Do people that get it, they want it, and they have capacity to do the job. We're going to teach you how to build a great company scorecard, how to run your business on real facts and figures and numbers and not that guesswork that most of us do. And then I'm going to teach you how to solve the issues that arise in your business by teaching you the issue solving track and how to run a great weekly meeting with your team. So there's so much that I'm going to pack in, and I'm going to try and squeeze it all into those 6 hours. But, heck, if you're in my session and you need more help, I'm there for you. We can create our own little mastermind and we give you some more free help. So I'm super excited to teach this and share this knowledge that I have and the experience that I have of working with. Gosh, I think we've worked with probably 35 or so marketing agencies, plus a other handful of other companies outside of the marketing world to put this system in place. Hundreds and probably thousands of hours in session room. And so I'm super excited. I can't wait for this.
Wow. I mean, I feel like you're giving people, especially entrepreneurs, something that we don't get to do often, which is a chance to like take a break from the day-to-day and actually work on the vision of your business and where you want to go. And as somebody that goes, like nonstop, I value so much those times that we're able to like just sit down and really see where we're going, because it's so easy to like get lost in the hustle and just in the day-to-day and the craziness. Because not only your business normally that you're managing your marriage, you're managing your family if you have young kids and whatnot. And so having this opportunity, I think you have no idea, guys, what you're going to get. Lyn is a giver. I mean, like I can foresee him like just building those connections. And like, that's also that opportunity that you get to be at this type of events with people like Lyn, that not only they're giving 6 hours of content, it's a connection that it's going to like pay off like tremendously in your life, just having this person that you can go to. And obviously there's like support needed and all that stuff, like that's something that he can work through as an EOS implementation person. So super, super excited. I cannot wait. I'm kind of like, I'm a little jealous from the people that are going to be in your session, because I feel like, oh man, I would love to like go through a session together with Lyn and just have 6 hours with him. Again, people pay thousands of dollars, guys, to be able to go through this stuff that Lyn's going to be able to go through in those 6 hours in the track. So highly suggest that if there's any spots, because we do have a lot of spots filled out for each of the tracks already. If there's any spots on this track, just make sure that you go through concierge and get access to this track. Now, last but not least, I would love for you, Lyn, to like share with us just one takeaway or one thing that you would like to share with people as they're thinking about, like, should I be in that room? Should I be in that event? Should I go and meet Lyn? Should I pick this track? What are some of the things that, you feel like people need to know before they make a decision, like coming to scalability?
Wow, there's a lot to unpack there, but I will say that I'm a connector. I really truly want to help you find the right person to help you along the way. Whether it's me or somebody, maybe you have needs that are not 100% aligned with what I do. I will help find the right person for you and connect you with the right people. I think that's one of my superpowers. But at the end of the day, we're going to be in the room together. We're going to be working on your business. I'm going to teach you how to have a great meeting pulse. I'm going to teach you how and when you should kind of look at your business on a quarterly basis, how you should run an annual. I want to teach you how to have a clarity break when you need one. You're going to get, so you can read the book Traction, or you can get the movie version. You can get the live in-person version right in my room, in my session room. So I'm super excited to have you guys here. Anybody that wants to join my track, I highly recommend you do. There are other tracks that I wish I could be in, to be honest. I'm a little jealous of some of the other tracks too. So you can't go wrong. It's a great event, put on by JC and Karen. Couldn't be better people. You guys are in great hands. I know that they've curated the best possible tracks for you. You got to make a decision which one, and that's a little tough, but no matter what you decide, you can't go wrong. You're in good hands. You're with good people. It's an incredible community, and go get yourself plugged in. Go get connected. Go speak to people, and I'm there to help you do that too.
Super grateful for you, Lyn, and thank you so much for sharing and taking this time from your busy schedule to like tell us more about what you have going on in this track. I personally cannot wait to be able to hang out with everybody, just feel that connection, network with people that truly want to grow. And I think like that's something that as business owners, it's so important to be surrounded with people that are wanting to like improve themselves and work on themselves, because that's the only way that we get that motivation, right? From those people next to us. If you're the 5 people that you surround yourself with, I think like you're definitely going to meet a lot of people there at the event that you want to continue to have relationships with and you want to continue to be surrounded with. And one of them is Lyn. So thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for this little session. And I cannot wait to see you in 22 days, something crazy like that.
Right around the corner. I'm super excited. So yeah, I truly believe that each one of us as business owners we need a peer group, and we need a coach, and we need mentors, and we need to surround ourselves with people who have gone this path before us. You don't have to do this on your own. It's almost impossible. It's such a difficult journey to do it on your own when just right around the corner there, and seriously, there's going to be a handful of people that will care about you and will help you and will guide you on the journey. And so super excited to meet the people that my track, super excited to see you and JC again in person. And I'm excited to connect with the rest of your speakers and tracked operators here. So I'm so pumped. I can't wait.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, you heard it. Make sure that you take advantage of this. The link is there, scalability.com. Go and pick your track. I think you have a code, Lyn, if I'm not mistaken, or we have a code. I'll share in the comments as well. But just make sure that you take advantage of getting your ticket. There's going to be a VIP access. That's going to be pretty awesome because you're going to get to have dinners with some of this top speakers as well. And then you get access to all the tracks, of course. And then the general access, you get access to all the tracks. I mean, to pick your track in all the sessions as well. So yeah, I cannot wait. Super excited. See you guys very soon. Thank you guys so much.
Bye, guys. See you soon.
Bye.